Maybe this might help people who may have not gotten it through their skulls yet that this is a riff, and that we have yet to gotten back to Discord yet, and that this is about comedy and making you laugh and putting on an entertaining show. I got it. Go click something else. Watch Gunbuster. Then, after you're done watching Gunbuster, you've had a good cry, come back, and instead of putting in comments about how much you hated that this was a riff, how about putting in comments of how much you liked Gunbuster? Tell me about the themes. Tell me about what you liked about Narco's characterization. I'll gladly respond to it. I'll gladly talk about it. You don't have to come onto this comment section and go, I don't like riffing. Go make something of yourselves. I'll be right here. I'll gladly respond to your comments when you're done watching Gunbuster. For the rest of you, enjoy. Venus ran her steel figure across her axe blade. Am I the only one who's irked that out of all the Senshi, it was Venus who had to get captured? I mean, I know why Micah did it. He's stuck to the strategy guide. He has no choice. Prepare to be crushed, interloper, she sneered. Your fate has been sealed. Me, Tarzan. Me, you, Jane. Link didn't know how he was going to get out of this one. Still armed himself with his healing shield, drew his sword. Venus, listen to me. Never. You're being controlled by Kome and Kotake. You must fight this curse. Venus just kept charging forward. No, I'll fight you instead. Link decided that he would just have to fight her, defensively, until he could figure out a way to convince her to fight this curse. Or, work with me, you could go after Kome and Kotake. Jupiter leapt up high onto a swinging eye beam, looked down into the main zone, and assaulted the last two of the iron knuckles ganging up on Mercury. What's this? Ellipses. Pick on the green and blue? Oh, great. Now we're dealing Power Ranger, the movie references. Okay, look. I'm just going to summarize this for you. It's the fight scene from the first Power Rangers movie. Go watch that. Right in between episodes of Gunbuster. Meanwhile, back at the Spirit Temple, Link and Venus are going at it. Oh my! So far, ellipses, Link had only managed to knock off her helmet, but that was it. You're only prolonging the inevitable, fool, she growled. Why not make it easier? Surrender, while I still have some patience left. Link, surrender? Yeah, why not? Not a chance. Oh. Those switches have really done a good job of brainwashing, he thought to himself. I'm going to make her see herself as she is. Then he suddenly realized, maybe her could. Say goodbye, hero, Venus growled as she charged in for one final attack. Before she could, Link slid steels again, and Link stopped dead in her tracks. Venus, look at yourself, ellipses, Link snapped. Venus dropped her axe, looked at the mirror shield, and reflected more closely. Damn, I look good, she asked. So far, it seemed to be going. Alright, she's distracted. Now my chance, he muttered. He got out of Zakarana and moved closer to Venus. Now you see what you are? He asked her. Is this what you want to look like? Yeah, I look hot! Venus could feel herself shaking as she dropped the shield. No, ellipses, it can't be, she cried. The way she looked with those dark red eyes, hair messed up, and wearing that ugly armor suit. It looked like she was from a black dog, don't you see? And nobody knows what that is. Good, they shouldn't. She fell to her knees and pulled her hair. No, why? Link thought it was now or never. He played Zelda's lullaby, and with the power of the music, shrouded Venus in a glow of light. It's working! cried Tato. Your spell's wearing off. When the light advanced, Venus was dressed in a regular sailor suit and sage armor. Her voice was no longer raspy, and her eyes were clear again. Venus, Link said as he walked over to help her up. Are you okay? She thinks so, she said. When she suddenly remembered, she was brainwashed by those two witches and used for their evilness. When I get my hands on those two... Link knew he was anxious to begin to battle, but first he had to teach her a little bit about her new attack. The Mirror Force. Hey, we've already had references to Pokemon, Power Rangers, and Turtles. Can we not pull in Yu-Gi-Oh? Seriously, I think Mikey keeps using Yu-Gi-Oh magic instead of normal magic. Gave her armor the power to repel special attacks, the back to where they came from. They were twice as much damage as they normally would. Of course, we could always use the Storming Mirror Force, or the Dark Mirror Force, or the... But first, she had to learn to control it, because they were going to need to use it in the battle ahead. Meanwhile, at Ganon's castle, ellipses, wherever it was... Hey, don't look at me, narrator, you're the one who knows! Ganondorf was not going to take this one moment longer. As much as he despised Link, he was not about to let someone else have the honors of destroying him.
Only one will have the honors of defeating the boy, and that will be me!
He sneered under his breath. Some of the monsters why not let run over finish off the hero first? The answer was obvious. Ellipses. If they did defeat Link, they would acquire the 4 Triforce stars he had before they could.
And that, ellipses, could never happen!
Ganondorf hissed.
What's the idea of one thing that'll leave my mothers down for good?
Couldn't you just kill them when they got back home? After they finished them off? It'll make things easier. You'll live. He snapped his fingers and made a vial of strong smog appear in his hand.
This poison is stronger than 10 typhoons, ellipses. Even they had no defense against it.
Ellipses. He used this magic to spread smog all over the final battle arena. It will not affect Link or his followers in the slightest. But the moment the witches appeared, ellipses.
And the second they remain battling in the chamber, ellipses, the poison will begin to slowly rot and decay their bodies from the inside out,
Ganondorf replied.
They won't even know what's going on, ellipses, until it is too late.
Meanwhile, in the construction zone, nobody cares. All this is trying to do is trying to make us believe that Tuxedo Comet has relevance. Link, Venus, and Tato had crossed the final chamber, climbed up to the U-square platform in the center, was surrounded by 4 smaller pillars on each side. Okay, ellipses, where's the welcome wagon? Venus asked. Link remained still and tense. They're coming, he said. I can feel it. Suddenly, the room went darker, and lit back up again, but not as much as before.
Look at those kids, ellipses. They keep offering themselves to our mercy,
came 2 wicked voices. Link turned to look behind him. There was one of them. Kome popped out of the pillars. Her hair began to glow fiery shade red.
With my flame, ellipses, I will burn them to the bone.
Ellipses. Venus looked ahead, and another one. Kotake popped up from another pillar. Her hair was blowing an icy shade of blue.
With my frost, ellipses, I will freeze them to their souls. Ellipses.
The 2 witches hovered with broomsticks until they were dancing arm in arm overhead, like a merry-go-round. Go down. Sorceress Sisters, Twin Rova.
I guess Wicca-Wagon's here,
said Tato. Link nodded. Let's go, he snapped, and he scattered about, ready for battle. Venus leapt over one of the corners of the platform.
Venus, ellipses, crescent beam, ellipses, smash!
It fired with all their might at Kome, but Kome just spun real fast on her broom to gain the beam.
Didn't even phase her. Ellipses, that's but the sister will phase you out!
That wasn't even clever, Kome cackled, and she held her broom out like a wand and fired a huge comet of flame right towards her. Venus didn't know why Kome didn't aim right at her, so she found that she didn't have to. When the comet hit the ground, flames burst everywhere, giving Venus hot feet.
Whoa, hot, hot, hot! Oh, nice shot, Kome,
said Kotake. Venus slipped right out the flames, much to Link's dismay. No, you're supposed to dodge or repel the blast, he called to her.
Then why don't you do something, dork? Now he tells me,
Venus mocked while fending off her hot boots. Then she got herself together. All right, ellipses, let's try this again. Venus made certain to keep her eye on Kome and not let her get out of her sights. She waited until she was ready to fire again. I got you this time, Venus snarled. Kome just smiled wickedly, let her comet fly. Venus stood her ground and let the comet hit her directly. The force of the blast began to push her back, way back, but did not break through. Instead, Venus thrusted her chest up. Woo! It deflected the blast right back to where it came from. Woo! Now I got you, Venus cried in joy. The comet did hit Kome twice the force as they had before, but once again, no damage was made.
How's who, my dear?
Asked Kome. Venus couldn't believe it. What are these two made of? Rock? She asked. The two witches winked at each other. Kotake kept her focus on Link.
You gotta run, but you cannot hide, little hero.
Ho ho ho, Ellipses. Navi, Ellipses, can you tell us anything about these witches? He asked. Tail had time to sense the weakness, but she could only come up with a clue that could help them defeat the witches.
Kome, sources of fire, Ellipses. CC's vulnerable to low temperatures. Kotake, sources of ice. Ellipses. CC's vulnerable to high temperatures.
Then Link suddenly realized that Kome was getting ready to fire Venus again. Kotake was aiming up a icy wind. Oh, Ellipses. Of course, Ellipses. Now I remember, he said. He waited until the two witches fired their comets. Then as they neared their respective targets, Ellipses. Venus, watch out! Link screamed. This made Venus jump out of surprise. When the fire blast hit her, it bounced off of her, went a little higher so it missed Kome, and headed straight for Kotake. Kotake looked around.
What?
That hot comet blasted right at her. This time a lot of damage was done.
Whoa, check it out,
Venus said as he had looking up. While he was distracted, Link aimed at his mirror shield, so the comet of frozen winds bounced off his shield, then over to Venus, where it bounced off of her and went right at the comet. Yarg! Venus only realized what had happened. Not only both witches had taken serious amounts of damage, but they got for being hit by each other's respective attacks. That's it! Venus chirped. Link looked at it as a sign and knew what had to be done now. Remember, Ellipses, keep them in your sights, he called. They scattered around the platform, just as the two witches came to.
You little brats, growled Kome. You won't get away with this,
added Kotake. Oh, Ellipses, I am so scared, Venus mocked. What are a couple old hags like you gonna do about it? The two witches remained completely still. As their eyes widened, their anger boiled deep inside.
What, Ellipses, did, Ellipses, you, das, Ellipses, call, Ellipses, us?
And there's one thing Kome and Kotake hated, Ellipses. Oh, now that was unnecessary! It was being called old. Now that they were both so incredibly angry, it was almost playful to compare Kotake to being an ice witch.
I'll time him. You take care,
Kome suggested. Kotake nodded, but hovered a bow. Nobody insults Twin Rover and lives to tell about it. They powdered out their brooms and fired. But once again, Link and Venus repelled their respective blasts to their opposing sister, damaging them even further. Oh, by the way, this was one of my favorite bosses to fight. I can't help it. I love a good system where I have to reflect and get power magic attack back. It's a clever system. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who keep seeing Mike and say, oh, all one of my characters has to do to stop magic is to use a mirror or something to block it back. He gets it from this. In cartoons, he thinks that applies to everything without really thinking.
Yeah.
All right, cried Link. Then suddenly, he began to feel a little weary. Twin Rover was already well aware of this. Link had been crossing through the Spirit Temple, battling many foes, including Venus on his own. By now, he was getting weary. He used Zelda's lullaby far too much in the temple, and healing Venus to use him on himself now. That's why you pick up fairies! That's why you grind! Master, Venus cried, are you okay? Link shook his head a bit. Ellipses, yeah, Ellipses, I think so. He said, but this gave Kome and Kotake the answer we were looking for.
These kids may be tough, but let's sell them, Kome.
Her sister nodded. You got it, Kotake. They both began doing their merry-go-round dance in the air again. What are those two nutbags up to now? No one wants to see it. Witches began spinning faster and faster. The bodies began to glow.
Kome and Kotake's double dynamite attack!
They both cried. Then suddenly, Ellipses, poof. The two witches reappeared, as one, Ellipses, that looked much uglier than before. Navi, cried Venus, who is this? Tail was too sick enough to answer, but the newly formed witch wasn't. She winked and spoke in her new, young, feminine voice.
I, Ellipses, am your worst nightmare!
The one about the spitz puffs. She levitated herself, without the use of her brooms, and merely held them like two wands.
Here, kids, Ellipses, cats!
She fired both her brooms at once, each blasting a comet even stronger than they were before. And they hit the 2 platforms. Venus got 8 feet again. And Link got one of his feet stuck in the frost. Ah, hoo 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 hoo.
Child's play.
The 2 fighters broke out their messes. Tail, Ellipses, can you tell us anything? Link asked. But Tail had nothing to report, Ellipses, except Ass.
Magic is combined Flores and Kami and Kentucky. But all I know is, you gotta turn your own magic against them.
Well, that certainly didn't help much. Where's it at? Link needed to recharge his energy. The only way he could personally do that was to change to the Fierce Deity form. But if I do that, I can't use my mirror shield, he said. If that was true, I was going to give them a huge disadvantage. But considering that Fierce Deity is, a boss killer, I don't think that's a big downside. But maybe, Ellipses, he thought it over. It was going to be risky. He had to try it. Venus, Ellipses, take this. He said, passing her shield. Venus was all confused and didn't get why, but didn't have a chance to ask questions. Besides, if Link knew what he was doing, she trusted him. Link got out his mask. Go! Fierce Deity! Ellipses. And it takes his most powerful state. Alright, ladies, Ellipses. He said his deep, handsome voice as he drew his sword. Let's take down these witches. Venus and Navi nodded. I wouldn't say handsome, but considering that he voices Guy from Gal Gaigar, I would say awesome.
Oh, please,
snarled Twinrover.
I shall prove to you that this time 2 heads really are not better than 1.
Link's eyebrows went even further. We'll see about that, he growled. Let's go. Usually in this part of the battle, you have to absorb 3 of the same spells to repel them, but this part is looking over this time. Oh, but it was the best part! Twinrover remained afloat on one of the pillars. It fired a fire beam at Venus, but she doesn't sword it with the mirror shield, fired right back at her. Ugh. Her hair stopped flowing as he fell flat on the surface of the pillar. Now it's my turn, Link said as he hopped over and beat the heck out of her with his sword.
It's working! Ellipses. Link!
cried Tail.
Keep it up!
Twinrover pulled herself together and nosed to cut over her nose.
Ugh, my beautiful face. How could you do that to me?
She cried. Link took no notice and hopped away. Twinrover got back to the air, fired a frozen comet right for him in protest for hurting her face. Venus! Link called, and Venus looked up to the scene just in time and repelled the shot again. Link hopped over and fired even some more of his own magic projectiles at his sword. Now Twinrover was really getting mad.
That's it. You've asked for it,
she screeched. She waved both brutes in front of her, but nothing really seemed to happen. Camel!
Strike me again, if you dare.
Bring it on! Growled Venus. We're ready for you! She fired her fire comet. Venus repelled her back, but this time before he reached Twinrover, she neutralized to nothing. Huh? No way!
Oh, hoo 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 hoo. A protective force field surrounds me, and you cannot break it.
The witch chuckled.
A force field, Venus said. That explains why she was so confident.
Now he scanned the shield, determined that it could only protect Twinrover from the front, seeing they somehow had to hit her to get behind the drop. Easier said than done. Twinrover was always hovering behind the pillars. Not only was there hardly any space to get her from behind, but the repelled blast couldn't shoot her on corners.
What am I going to do?
Cried Tato.
You can sit there and let me destroy you. That's what.
Twinrover began firing comets like crazy. Most of them did miss the duo, but those that Venus repelled with her shield either missed Twinrover or just couldn't get through the barrier. Eventually, Venus and Link did get hit, and tables seemed to be turning.
What's wrong, kids?
Ellipses getting tired, are we? Twinrover marked. Grr. Ellipses. Ellipses. This witch won't fall down, growled Link. You're still waiting here from behind. Venus looked down at her armor and the mirror shield. Suddenly she realized something she should have realized before, but didn't. Oh, yes, we can, she said as she began. She gets running closer and closer towards the witch. Venus! Ellipses, what are you doing? Link called. Trust me, she cried. So he approached the witch, looked down upon her and sniggered. Ellipses, and here I was wondering how to finish you. Give me an easier target. Venus did not look amused.
Say goodbye.
Twin Rover replied as he powered up both her brooms for one colossal attack.
Yes, get out of here,
cried Teal, while Venus just stood around and fire was released.
Say goodbye, girlie.
Die Buster! Venus just stood there where she was, instead of using a mirror shield to replace the blast. So he just tossed it over to Witz's head, and this led to Comet bounce off her own armor, bouncing right back.
Ha, silly child,
Twin Rover snapped.
My shield blocks all your attacks from reaching me. There's absolutely nothing that can break it.
Venus is smart. Then I suppose a good thing it's not you I'm aiming at. Twin Rover's eyes widened.
Let you not.
Venus shook her head, pointed up. Just look behind you. Twin Rover turned her head just to see the mirror shield Venus had tossed earlier, soaring right behind him, and blasted him, bounced over the surface.
Ah, oh no,
cried the witch. She didn't have enough time to defend herself, and got stuck from behind.
Whoa, Ellipses, ah. Well, I'll be, Tail. That girl's got skills.
Link nodded. Nicely done, Venus, he called. Venus recovered the shield and gave him a thumbs up. Now, let's face him, she said. Link agreed, and his sword began to sparkle and glow angrily, like Venus's finger.
Venus, Ellipses, Crescent Beam,
Ellipses, Sacred, Ellipses, Fierce Steed, Ellipses, Sacred Sword, Ellipses, Ellipses, Snaz, Ellipses, Attack! The combined forces of those shots straight for the witch and Ellipses, Kapow!
Yarr!
Sound was so strong, Twin Rover spun around really fast, and split back into Kome and Katake. Both of them were playing mad, ready for more. No, it can't be, cried Venus. That attack should have finished them, added Link.
Well, Ellipses, looks like you didn't,
Tail said. What's this huffing and puffing? We're not ready to give in yet.
Shoot, they sure are fresh kids. Now we'll sell them, right, Katake?
Katake nodded, but then, not only were they surrounded by a white light, but Katake saw a golden ring over Kome's head.
Hey, Kome, what's that above your head?
Kome looked up. Not only did he see the ring above her head, but...
No, but you have one over your head too, Katake.
Well, he realized they were halos, which could only mean Ellipses.
But I'm only 400 years old,
cried Kome.
And I'm just 308 years old,
protested Katake. Two witches broke out an all-out silly spat.
We're kids, don't try to lie about your age. You must have gone senile. Who are you calling senile? Is that how you treat your older sister? We're twins, how can you be older? Yeah, how heartless you are. How can you be so grateful? You're heartless, you're ungrateful, Ellipses.
Arguments seemed to go on and on. Must the link of Venus's boredom and annoyance. Still, the witches were furnace. Ellipses. Ganondorf's poison was actually killed them, but none of them knew that. And that seemed to have nothing on the plot! The two witches were being lifted up in the light, screaming,
I'll come back to haunt you.
And then they were gone. The whole poison thing was pointless. Why was it there? Link changed back to his regular sink. We did it, Ellipses, think. Venus smiled, big time.
Yeah, we did.
She and Link high-five each other. Link and Navi buzzed about happily. Then, Ellipses. A tube of orange light appeared, and there stood a black woman with long red hair, wearing a kind of Arabian thief outfit. She spoke with a punk street girl tone.
Phew, yeah, baby. Ellipses, how does it feel to be out of there?
Eyes fixed on Link.
Hey, kid. Ellipses, how's it sinking, honey?
Link smiled and said, The burrow. Ellipses, you haven't changed your charge yet. The burrow and Venus got acquainted. Told Venus the exact same thing that happened to her the last time Link challenged the Spirit Temple.
Back then, Ellipses, when Link was just a boy, Ellipses, the burrow asked to defense the silver gauntlets within the temple. But unfortunately, she too got captured by the witches before Link could reach her. She too got brainwashed by these witches and did her bidding. Link then rescued Noboro and reawakened her as the Sage's spirit. The witches defeated.
And now, Ellipses, looks like the responsibility is going to you, said to Venus. You ready? Venus stepped forward, ready to accept her new power, and Noboro served forth the sixth and final medallion. Ellipses, Spirit Medallion. And over near Venus advanced into her chest, officially marking her as the Sage of Spirit Reborn. Wow, Venus said, unable to believe what had just happened. Thanks. Thanks a lot. I promise, I'll take real good care of your powers. Make sure you do, honey, Noboro said. Then she vanished was gone. And once he left, the temple began to cave in. Come on, we need to get out of here, cried Link. They all stepped into the light and warped outside. A rescue chopper, sent by the base camp that lone Link and Mina their truck and supplies. You know, there is a desert in Japan. You could have visited that. We're nearing the center of Spirit Temple after not finding the lost hiker sent to drinking hole. Hey, look there, said one of the pilots. Both men looked down and saw two tiny specks running up from the temple's entrance. The radio began to buzz. Hello? Ulysses, can you hear me up there? The two men didn't know how Link was able to contact them without a radio, but the main pilot picked up the radio and spoke to him. Hello down there, he said. We heard you needed rescuing. We'll be down in a moment to pick you up. Link was actually using Saria's song to... We know! Don't need to tell us that. No, Link snapped. You must remain high and get away from the temple. It's going up any minute. Hearing this and seeing how Link and Mina could easily get far enough to avoid the blast on their own, they all scattered away as fast as they could. It wasn't until Link and Mina, with Tato safely tucked away in Mina's pocket, the Spirit Temple blew up and collapsed into a burning pile of sand. Later that evening, ellipses. Although the temple was destroyed, the base camp was so thrilled to have all this new knowledge and discoveries about it. They immediately sent Link and Mina home to Tokyo. There is deserts in Japan! I'm glad you both got away in time, said Luna. Yeah, I'll be watching the temple blow from the inside would have been a pretty sight, added Aramis. Link was happily gazing at the red stone in his hand. Right now, all I want to look at are my 6 medallions. Then look at the girls in Darien, my 5 newly awakened sages, and our big strong ally. You mean the wimp. Finally, after all this time, overcoming many hardships and toiling with danger and trouble, the 5 temples were all gone. The medallions were finally reclaimed. Thanks to you all, we now have all we need. Replying like he looked up to the sky, the time for the final showdown with the King of Evil has come. Everyone was looking forward to that, except Serena, with one question. Master? Ulysses, where is Ganondorf hiding? Do you know? Link suddenly realized he didn't know where Ganondorf's lair was. That was going to be a problem. The medallions were only supposed to help them beat Ganondorf, but not actually tell him where he was. Shameful. Well, Ulysses, we're going to have to keep searching. He's bound to show up sometime, he said. Everyone agreed him. They are greatest battle, but the enemy was now drawing ever so near. And now they all just head home and learn time to relax. And today's moral is... Does how Mamoru-chan is supposed to be good and helpful? And this song is something I have never heard of before. And now Mike is crying over how he made it, and that he made his dream come true. Dude, get a life.